Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 25th of the January Legal Daily Challenge here in the year 2022. I don't know if I need to say that because I guess we've been doing this for 2 calendar years now or whatever, right? 2020, 2021, and 2022. So they're going to be dupes. I might need to reset my format a little bit. And as you know, I've been doing this for 660 something days straight. So this is almost like a vlog. I don't always talk about myself or whatever, but sometimes I do. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, and today's problem is Rabbit Mountain Array. Okay. Given an array of integer, return true if and only if is a valid mountain array. Record amount array is okay. Why is this record? Like, I don't know this. Why would I know this? Okay. Yeah, look, I did take a look at the constraints just to make sure. Also, for a second, I thought that this may be one of those binary search questions. It does not appear to be. Oh yeah, one more update before I start. I mean, this is a easy problem anyway. But one more update is that I actually made my windows a little bit smaller. Let me know about your feedback. You could kind of see my face in too much detail. Maybe that's a little bit too tight. I don't know. But I made it slightly smaller so it doesn't block the screen. Obviously, I did not know yesterday that it blocked part of the code because I usually don't write code that goes that long. But yesterday I did it in a weird one-liner and that happened to be the case. My bad. Anyway, today's problem is, okay, let's see. So does it have to be strictly, okay. So, okay, increasing but not strictly is not a mountain array anyway. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that part. Okay, so how do I want to do this? I mean, obviously the easy way is a for loop, and I don't think that there's any weirdness about it. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that anything tricked you. We just do a for loop, right? I'm trying to think about ways to be cleverer, but I feel like that's really it. Yeah, so maybe another way of thinking about it is to think about the cases where this is false, the not amount array part, and then you can return false when those things happen. I think that's the way I could think about it. And the way that I would start is by saying that it is increasing is equal to true. I also want to double check what happens if it has, oh, okay, it has at least 3 elements, so it has at least rising and increasing and a decreasing sequence. Okay, so then now we do something like, I'm not gonna lie, the thing that I really do like doing is doing something like for xy in zip of array and array, prefix. This lets me get. This lets me look at adjacent elements, but this is also where I usually point out this is of course linear space because of the slice and such. But I'm gonna keep doing it that way because I don't know. I just like it's more terse. But yeah, so now we have to check. Okay, if x is less than y, then we just if this is true, then if increasing, then we just go, or if this is not increasing, maybe, then we return false. Otherwise, we just go on, right? And then else if x is greater than y, then 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 increasing is equal to false. And that's pretty much it, really, right? Yeah, I don't think so. The only wrong case is if we go back up, which is handled there. And then the other case is just if they're equal, so then we just return false. And if it passes everything, then we return true, and I think that's pretty much it. I mean, this is a easy problem, I'm not, this is a labeled easy problem. I don't like to call these things easy because you make silly mistakes like this, and then you make fun of, and then you get made fun of. I thought that, actually, I misread the input. To be honest, or I really misread constraint. I saw this and I thought that the input is at least size 3, but it turns out that it is of size 1, but that it is only true if this is 3. So of course, all we have to do now is just add an if statement. See if that works a little bit better. Hopefully it does. Okay. Yeah, let's give it submit. Yeah, let's give it a submit. We'll see. Ooh, so the Larry from a year ago. Oh no, I'm repeating the mistakes of a Larry from a year ago. Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot about the case where you have to go decreasing once because I for some reason I saw this and I kind of got confused. But let me see now. Okay, well, mistakes were made just like last time. I made 3 mistakes, so hopefully this time I only made one mistake. So, oh jeez, did I thought I checked for this. Because I was just saying this is literally the opposite of before. Oh, okay, this is what happens when you get too arrogant and confused. But okay. Uh, uh, hmm. I mean, I guess we could put something here. If we had used I as you go to 0, fine. Let's write that way then, because this is now awkward, right? Okay, and then now we can write if I is equal to 0, we return false, right? That's pretty much the difference. Let me actually put these cases. Like I said, I was again a little arrogant. I don't know how I didn't test yet. I don't know what to say, friends. Maybe today's an off day. The stock market has been the stock market. It was like this mountain away, except for it's in the other direction, which I guess is okay, but still a crazy ride. So almost actually apparently is crazy in the historic level. So that's not great. Okay, let's hope this is right. Okay, yay, 665. And look, I know. It's easy to look at this and be dismayed that I got 2 wrong answers, but I got 1 fewer wrong answers than last time. And maybe the next time we do it, we only get 1 wrong answer because I was too arrogant about this one. Not gonna lie, I probably would have done it in a different way, but I don't know. I was trying. Let's see what I did last time. Okay, well, how come? Oh, I assumed that there'll be 1 peak. That's the trick that I did. But then I don't think about the last thingies. Past Larry was trying to be too clever, and then he did it the normal way, and then forgot the Yiko case. And wow. Forgot the Yiko case again. So I don't know what to say because last time I did it wrong in 3 different ways, and then this time I did it in a really. To be honest, if any reasonable person should have tested these 2 cases, I take I take all responsibility. There's no excuse. This is sloppy. I am sloppy. I've been very sloppy lately. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow I'll do a little bit better. Today, I'm still a little bit tilted from the stock market, and maybe it's just this big head. This big head isn't working for me. I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, that it shows to tell you sometimes it's very easy to, and even for me, I do feel like I am better about it nowadays. But obviously, as you can see, it still happens to me, which is that sometimes you can underestimate your opponent. In this case, your problem. You can underestimate it. You're easy. You're like, okay, let's just rush through this, But then you forget to check these cases. I mean, because honestly, if this was a contest and I added 2 minutes of testing this, I would have saved myself 10 minutes of wrong answers, right? So there's definitely a lesson to be there. And I would also say though, it does look pretty bad, especially if you watch this in isolation. But I think these things just comes and go. Some days you go on or some periods of days you go on a really good streak where no matter what you do, you type, and everything goes right? And then sometimes you do the same thing, except when you're super careful and everything still goes wrong somehow. The idea about getting better is just about getting good enough that your bad days aren't as bad so that your good days could really shine, right? That's how I would like to think about it. So, as I have a streak of 665 days, it's a long streak, but that also means that there'll be good days and there'll be a couple of bad streaks in there, right? Where it's 2 years. No one. I'm good, but maybe yeah. I mean, well, I would say on stuff like this, it's not about being good. It's about being careful and being deliberate and being having the mindfulness of just not rushing it or being because sometimes, like I said, sometimes you could estimate these things and just let it go, and this happens in interviews and stuff like that as well, right? Some days you're like, oh, you tell yourself you don't care for this interview, and maybe your friends tell you that the interview is easy, you don't have to worry about it, and then maybe you relax a little bit too much, and the next thing you know, you're making silly mistakes that that's not you 99% of the time, but they see the 1% of you, and that's sometimes that happens, right? And then another analogy, which actually relates to the mountain array a little bit, is that as sometimes you see on my Instagram and stuff like this, hopefully, I go hiking a lot, I guess is my point, and I go mountaineering a little bit. Not that intense, but there are places where it's probably a little bit sketch. Like, yeah, you probably don't want to be in those situations where like you're on alert and you don't want to fall down the mountain, etc. Right? And I would say, it's almost kind of counterintuitive, but in those cases, sometimes you almost like use so much of your attention on the hard parts that you kind of you relax a little bit too much on the easy parts, but they're easier, but they're not easy, right? It's still a little bit dangerous. It's still maybe like if you put your foot in the wrong place and you slip and things kind of go really badly. And that's the one thing that I always remind myself when I'm in those situations is like, okay, look, you may be 80% of the way done, all the hard stuff is done, but still be careful, be alert, take it slowly, don't rush it, because you don't want to be like, in the last 10% of the trip, you rush it because you're like, oh, I'm almost there, let me just like rush through things. And anyway, maybe that's a lesson that I would go here, and this is a good showcase of that. Yeah, you could even pretend this is intentional, though I'm not gonna lie, it's totally just coincidental. Anyway, that's all I have for this one. Oh yeah, let me go over. Do I have to go over complexity, friends? This is constant space, linear time. I don't know, friends. Anyway, stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. I'll see you tomorrow, whenever. Bye bye.